Honestly, you were looking at the remnants of. I started this new project called Uncharted 4.
Oh.
And one of the things I love about Naughty Dog is their process for facial capture is I don't give a fuck. Literally, the technology that they use, they don't, like when we're actually shooting like we would, like we did The Last of Us, whatever you saw that, there was no facial camera or dots or anything on the face because they've got amazing animators that actually come in after the fact. So I was like, oh, do I have to be clean shaven? I'm like, no, we're Naughty Dog. So, I get to grow this out, and then it just became this thing. I was like, I don't have to shave. I actually had one session where I got really scared. It was for another small game called Metal Gear that's coming out this year. And I thought we were done. Wait, there's 3 people that clapped now. Come on, I thought more people were excited for that.
Man, you know what? Ground Zero was a hard sell. Now you got the Phantompain though. You got the Psycho, the Whale. Yeah, we can't wait to see how that comes.
I will say this. Obviously, 2014 is like 2015 is like 2014 and 2015 combined as far as the games that are coming out. It's like 2015 is going to be the best games of 2014.
Everything got pushed.
Everything got pushed. I will honestly say that as far as scope and everything else, Metal Gear beats it hands down. It is one of the most ambitious games that I've ever seen. And even I was surprised when we found out, we're at the Game Awards and we found out about the multiplayer component and everything. I was like, I had no idea.
How much do you get to see as a voice actor in terms of how?
On Metal Gear, this much. Yeah. Kojima plays everything tight to tight to the vest, close to the vest, whatever. He doesn't play it fast and loose.
He likes vests.
He likes vests. There are vests, and so we get to see a little bit, and a lot of it honestly is revealed in the narrative because there is a tie-in, of course, with the narrative and the gameplay. And so you're like, and you'll be reading this one thing, you're like, holy shit! So this is actually what we're doing. So that's one way that I kind of find out about stuff. But we're very compartmentalized. Like, Robin Atkin Downs, who plays Miller, will come in and do it's basically, Shut Up Miller and Ocelot is Talks a Lot. Because we both just talk incessantly through this game. You're going to get really tired of hearing us.
Talk about with this Uncharted 4 business.
Man, it's incredible. I mean, honestly, Uncharted is one of my all-time favorite franchises. It just really is. But so here we are. We're 4 games in this franchise, and it's not only do you have wonderful characters and wonderful story, but it's like you've really you found the Lost Ark. You found all these things. Yeah. Where do you go from here? And I love the story that they've been writing, and there's a little bit that's been announced as far as like they're searching for this legendary city called Libertalia. It's clearly going to be like a pirate adventure from all the stuff you've seen from the teaser trailers. But they introduced this new character of Nate's older brother, and I remember getting the phone call from Neil. I was like, "How would you like to play Nolan's brother?" And I was like, "Dude, you're drunk." and he's like, "No, I'm serious." And so we had this long conversation about it, and the first hurdle, you always want to like ground yourself in a role, to make it believable and make it relatable. Because if you don't believe it, how do you expect anybody else to?
Sure.
And there's Travis Willingham. We talk about this a lot as my best friend, and there's so much about...
He threw a ball in my nuts.
He threw a ball at your nuts in a lovely thong, which you wore.
Yeah, believe it or not, that didn't make... When I left IGN, that's not something I packed.
No,
long got
leave
thrown
it
away.
here. Naomi Kyle's desk.
Yeah.
Why? I didn't mean it that way. You guys take it there. But anyway, so the relationship that Travis and I have is he's very much of my... bigger, younger brother. There's an older brother role that he takes even though he's younger than me. And there was something unique that I found about Sam's character, which is Nate Drake's brother in this, is that some people sometimes kind of hit a point in their life. Remember that guy in Napoleon Dynamite where you could tell that he was still the quarterback in high school, just wanted so desperately to go back to that moment. There's certain people that hit a certain point in their life where they can just never get past that one thing. And the younger becomes the elder because they're able to move on and actually find their own identity. And that to me is the relationship between Sam and Nate. And it's me and Nolan, so there's a lot of off the cuff banter that happens on set, and Nolan and I've clearly worked together before in the past, but this is for me as a fan and for me as a gamer, this is like it's not lost on me at all. I'm working with one of the best people in the industry.
And when I, announced you're coming on the show, people start tweeting questions at me.
Sure.
An interesting one I thought that kept coming up was ask them.
What's up with this beard?
No, well that's just normal. That's people on the street want to ask you that question.
What is up
people,
with your beard?
What is going on there, sir? Have you fallen on hard times? No, they were talking about the fact that
the beard of the demon.
you're coming into a role that was previously going to be Todd Stashwick. And if that's weird for you, if it's not weird for you, correct me if I'm wrong, this kind of recasting in the VO community happens all the time. Because I remember when Dave Fennoy came on, he talked about the fact that, I wasn't the original Lee Everett. There was somebody else and it didn't work. And then
yeah, this happens all the time. And what I really applaud Naughty Dog for doing is being able to, that's a really hard punch to roll with.
Mm-hmm.
And, what happens invariably, I mean, one of the classic stories is, who played Marty McFly in Back to the Future.
Eric Stoltz then became Gat.
Exactly. But they shot for like 2 months, 3 months, and that's a big budget movie, and that's Robert Zemeckis and Steven Spielberg. If those guys can't get it right at first, and it wasn't necessarily that Eric Stoltz was wrong. Clearly, Oscar winner, he's good, It was just like, hey, we actually want to take the character in a different direction. We want to take the story in a different direction. And so there was a lot of stuff that changed. Yeah. And I really applaud Naughty Dog for being able to come in and go, okay, let's roll up our sleeves, let's get really, really dirty, and let's do this. I wasn't the first Reese on Borderlands. It's just things happen. You were like, okay, you're clearly talented, but this isn't working for what we want. It has nothing to do. It's not a reflection on the actor who gets that. It's just the story changes, character changes.
How have Neil and Bruce not crumbled under the pressure of, number 1, coming off The Last of Us, number 2, worrying about a sequel, number 3, worrying about a movie, number 4, now working on Uncharted 4?
Uncharted 4, I have no idea.
So what's the rest of 2015 look like for you?
It's crazy. We're eventually going to come out with the second episode of Borderlands, which people have been loving it. I literally laughed out loud to certain parts, and that's completely in part to Pierre and Nick, who are the writers from Telltale, and I'm having a blast doing that. We just did some stuff for episode 2 not that long ago. So no date announced yet, but it's coming soon. Whenever they feel like it.
They just keep
like
you wait.
And then obviously Uncharted 4 is coming out. We have no idea when, but they definitely said 2015. Metal Gear is coming out. Arkham Knight, which is going to be another kind of like huge monstrosity of a game. I'm so glad that they pushed it, because the last thing I would have wanted to do is
for their finale, right? You have to come out and fire.
Come out with a bang.
You're two-facing